Here he is, three-time All-Pro, six-time Pro Bowler, the man who led the New York Jets in receiving in that huge 21-13 win over the Texans on Thursday Night Football. Davante Adams, congratulations. It seems like it was 7 weeks ago.
It does. It feels like it was a really long time ago. We're ready to get back to it.
Is time going quickly for you, or is it? I feel like you look very settled in lately with the little bits that I get to see.
Yeah, no, it's things are happening fast. I feel like it just happened, but at the same time, getting settled in, felt like within a few days, I feel like I've been there with the team for a really long time. Obviously, I've known a lot of the guys, so it took a little longer than what I wanted to get our first win, but we got it, and hopefully now we can get rolling.
Are there any changes you see sort of from the first time you were in the building to even now, like as it has sort of slowed down for you?
Well, I feel like it's just obviously after this last game, getting our first dub in a long time. It's definitely a different feeling. I feel like we were a little too urgent before, and it was kind of like a feeling of desperation, the way we were kind of moving in the game and the feeling that we had. And there was a lot of anxiety. I feel like just based off what you can see, I'm sure you can see it out there on the outside as well. But now that we got it rolling and found a few, found a little groove, I feel like hopefully we can turn this into something. So we're going to keep rolling.
Who's the MVP of fun on that team? Who is the one that's making sure that that's a part of it? Because I know that that's important to you. You said it weeks ago before the trade even happened.
You know what? I don't even know if I can put it on one person at this point. I think since I spoke up and said something after that Pittsburgh game, it turned into something that I'm not trying to take a bunch of credit. I'm just saying that, we had a talk, and then I've seen it pretty consistently from everybody. It's a lot more intentionality to the celebrating and, making sure we enjoy one another out there. Just having that energy. I've seen it from literally top to bottom, the coaches, everybody. It's been just day and night.
So your message had to do with having fun? What was like the gist of it, if you were to say it in like one sentence, what your message to this team has been consistently?
Well, what I noticed in that Pittsburgh game that I wasn't really used to seeing was it was just a lack of, like I said, it felt like everybody had a real tight, and that's not how you're supposed to play the game. And you see a guy make a play, you're supposed to celebrate, his play and, give it attention, give it the attention that it deserves. It's tough to make a play in this league, especially a very explosive play. And, in that game, Brees caught a check down and took it 60 yards. I'm not really feeling the energy from the team. And all I know is energy, from, I get more excited for my teammates when they make plays than when I make a play myself. So it just felt a little off to me. And then once I, mentioned that in practice, you'd see it. Guys are communicating more at halftime and just being more in the game. And I feel like that's the best way to do it and the best way to kind of feed off each other's energy.
It helps when you win. It helps when you make big plays. Talk me through this touchdown and how it felt to finally have it pan out.
Yeah, well, at this point, even though I had left the game for a minute before this, I feel like we had made a few plays and started clicking, and not just myself. Obviously, Garrett made a couple ridiculous plays, play of the year worthy, honestly. I mean, I don't even think you need me to say that, but only thing that would have made it better is if he was in some Jumpman gear himself. But yeah, it was at this point, I had a little fourth down play and was able to make a play. And at this point, I felt like we were starting to, find our groove. So
yeah.
Once I seen one high man, and a gotta have a situation with a safety on me, I was kind of disrespected a little bit. But hey.
Davante, the second I saw they put a safety on you, I was like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I didn't really understand that, but I'm glad they did it.
What did Aaron say to you on the sidelines after that touchdown?
Well, I think the camera picked it up. He was saying something about just like old times. Like, we've been waiting for that. That's what everybody else has been waiting for. They were hoping to see that, 2 weeks ago. But like I said on Instagram the other day, Rome wasn't built in a day. So we had to, find our groove. And not that it's going to be perfect, but I just feel like we all feel a lot more comfortable out there together than what we did, before the second half.
What's he like right now? What's Aaron's energy like?
It's real similar to, I think it was 2016 run the table type vibes.
Really?
Just that type of energy. He's not, create more slogans and all of that stuff. I mean, we've had many years where, it's run the table, then it was the relax and all those. I'm not saying there's going to be another run the table part 2 or something like that, but it's definitely that type of energy. I think everybody, myself included, we all locked in different in the second half. So if we can all, find a way to just, I don't know what the word is, but just hold on to that feeling that we all had there and that we left that game with, we'll be a dangerous team.
Have you talked to Taco Bell about putting cayenne pepper and water on the menu?
I have not. But what's funny is actually that was a conversation between me and TM. So we were talking, and Aaron was actually around for that. So he kind of stole our conversation a little bit and put it out there. But yeah, I've heard that. I'm gonna look this up real quick because Timo gave me a name. So just for everybody out there, if because I've been a big, I don't like drugs too much. So it's not a lot of, I'm not taking all the crazy stuff, but some Advil or something like that before practice. I've been known to take Barbara O'Neill. She's the one who spoke on cayenne pepper is basically nature's Advil, is what she said.
O'Neill.
That's from Thomas Morstead. So check her out.
I know, but I see Barbara O'Neill on TikTok.
I figured. My wife said the same thing.
No, she's legit. So we're crediting Barbara O'Neill with this? I love this.
Yeah. And I didn't find that information, but I was
who were you talking to?
Thomas Morstead.
Oh, got it.
Our punter. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
of course.
he saw me grabbing my Advil or Skittles as I call them. I was tearing it open, I was popping it, and I'm eating them. Or not eating, that sounds ridiculous, but I was taking them, and he just shared that with me. He said he used to take Advil every day and started getting worried about what it would do to his body or whatever. And being an athlete, I'm the same thing. I'm getting all the blood work and everything to make sure that everything is still regulated after playing a long time and needing some help on that field.
So now this makes sense because Morstead is Fountain of Youth vibes. 1,000%. And then Aaron said you've been drinking the Fountain of Youth, so clearly and I need the cayenne pepper water Baja Blast. That's what needs to happen. I think there's
Maybe we'll throw that in there. I don't even know if you noticed the difference, because Baja Blast usually like this big, so with a teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
I'm excited about that. Can we talk about the Garrett catch?
Please, yes. Would love to.
I know you were asked about it. You also were in the locker room. I don't know how. I want to know how the Jordan deal is coming along. But how good? Like, put this into context. I know you've rated your best catches with Max Crosby on the rush with Max Crosby. Where does this slot in there?
This is right here. Just with everything included, prime time, back in New York, back in MetLife, in particular. This is a top 5 catch ever, and I don't know. We can act like it's not and just, because dudes are making a bunch of crazy one-handed catches. But to do this, I mean, just with the situation, 3rd and long, shin, I've never heard of the shin rule, but to be able to capitalize on that shin rule and to be able to throw your leg down like that, grip the ball, he literally caught it with one and then just brought it back in and secured it with the other one. I mean, it was ridiculous. I was pissed off that I couldn't see it while I was actually on the field, because obviously I was back doing some stuff with the docs, but one of the most incredible catches I've ever seen, for sure.
Stuff with the docs, you feeling okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I love hearing that. The shin thing I wasn't even aware of. I loved it. Is it better than Odell?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say if it was better. Odell is just a legendary human being. After that catch, that really changed the game. To catch it, behind your head like that. And I think it was more necessary than Odell's was. I don't know if Odell needed to put one hand out. I just think he know that he got crazy big mittens, and he figured he would try it and then create the highlight if he caught it. And I think he also got a PI on it. So
I mean, the Giants lost that game. The Jets won it.
They did. The Jets won. So I mean, hey, maybe that's how we decide.
Maybe. I'm curious. You've had incredible catches. What does a catch like that do weeks after? Like, what does that do for Garrett Wilson, knowing that you are capable? Is it just a moment that you celebrate and it goes away because you're focused on what's next? Or does it do something for your confidence, for something going forward?
I mean, anytime you make any type of big catch, especially after a situation like, Pittsburgh, he was down on himself after, letting one go off of his pad. So to be able to stick one hand out there, and first of all, the intentionality that he showed over the last 2 weeks, just catching the football in practice and walkthroughs and all of that stuff, like that's how you get better, and that's how you improve your confidence. Because I'm a big advocate for, put the work in and get the confidence from that. I don't like the people that just talk like they're the most confident person in the world, with nothing behind it. So I get all my confidence from the work that I put in. So to see him, drop a couple balls in Pittsburgh and then come out here and, the next couple weeks and play really well in New England and then make 2 one-handed catches for touchdowns last week. I mean, that just shows why he's who he is. And he's going to continue to grow and get better. And I'm glad I get to see it.
I want to show you one of my favorite catches by you. I know which one you named. You had one this season. You've had some that are called back that are amazing. Can I show you my favorite catch?
Oh, this is your favorite,
Yeah,
huh?
It's 2017. Okay. Come on, there's 16 seconds left. You're down 3. Talk me through this.
Yeah. I remember that. So the play before, we actually ran the same play, and Aaron threw it a little inside, and I basically just tried to break it up from the same guy. I think that's Jordan Lewis. So the next play, we come back to the huddle, and I couldn't really make a play on the ball how I wanted, so I come back to the huddle and I said, throw it again. And I basically started to leave the huddle. And he just called the play and went and threw it right back to me the next play, threw a perfect ball.
That's why it's so good, just to go right back to the same play when everyone knows what's happening, and it was Lewis,
Yep. No, that was one of my favorites. I don't know if that was my favorite. I think the one-hander in 22 against the Rams.
The one-hander in 22?
Yeah, against the Rams in SoFi when Jalen covered my face and I one-handed it on the right side. It was like the third play of the game, Thursday night.
We're going to look that one up. The one that you told Max Crosby, this is what you told Max Crosby, that Odell's in 2015, George Pickens' one-hander against the Browns in 2022, Jefferson's catch against the Bills in 2022, and the one that you had against the Niners in 2022.
Well, yeah,
I
think if I got asked that, I might pick something different every time, just because it's been so many different. So many different catches. Yeah.
I mean, this is what you told Max Crosby, and this one's insane.
Yeah. Well, that's just what you call falling in love with the football. So this one is just like it didn't matter where it was. I'm gonna go jump inside and just find a way to come down with it. And it was against the Niners, so me being on the Raiders at the time, obviously that was gonna jump out to me. But I think difficulty-wise and just the situation and how it looked, the Rams one on Ramsey was that one was up there for sure.
The catch that was my favorite was against the Cowboys. The Cowboys have news this morning. I want to talk about. Dak Prescott's on IR. I want to ask you, because now there's all this talk, and Jerry Jones asked about it this morning, and it was, well, we'll see a little bit of both quarterbacks, both Cooper Rush, and we'll see Trey Lance. Now, you know the coach of that team, so I want to ask you first as a wide receiver. It's kind of a tough question, but there'll be packages for both. But if it's you, or if you're CeeDee Lamb, who you guys are friends on my show, who would you rather catch balls from right now, Cooper Rush or Trey Lance?
Put me in a tough spot.
I know.
I don't really know. Honestly, I would have to, as a receiver, especially me as a player, like I gotta really know who can play with me, not just like who's a good quarterback, because there's been certain ones like I played with Jimmy Garoppolo and he's had a lot of success and we just didn't play all the time great together, and he was a great guy. He would take a lot of accountability and all those things, and I love being around him. And from the receiver and everything, people had all their things to say and they think I hate the guy, which is definitely not the case. But there's some guys just aren't compatible together on the field. So for me, from what I've seen, I don't know, man. This is tough.
Well, I will say, I'll give you some information here. Cooper's been there Lamb's whole career. That matters. I mean, you're on Instagram showing Tyrod Taylor. You're chumming up to your backup quarterback like it matters, right? So Cooper's there. Cooper's been 5-1. They've been 5-1 together when Rush has taken over, he and Lamb. So I imagine, and okay, let's not take it from your lens then, because it is a hard question. And I love you, and I'm sorry. How about from the coach's perspective? You know, I mean, Mac McCarthy, you went through this with him in 2017, and Aaron went down with a broken collarbone.
Right.
McCarthy's likely to have a preference. Which one?
I mean, I guess it almost has to go off who's been the most efficient, obviously, and who's being on the field has led to winning. So it sounds like Cooper has won some games just based off of what you read off to me there. So if he can get it to the guys that need to get the football and whoever's most comfortable in that offense, because some guys that's what happens. Like, Derek, I don't think he was as comfortable in Josh McDaniels' offense as he was in some of the other offenses, and which led to what that led to. So you got to play who's most comfortable and who's most efficient. Derek's
taking some criticism.
Yeah.
What do you think? They fired Dennis Allen.
Yeah, it's tough. That's usually what happens if a team that doesn't perform. 2-7. I think 7 straight losses is obviously not a good situation to be in. And as a coach, I'm sure Dennis saw that was coming. You hope that you can make some moves and fire this person and do this with that person, and hopefully it'll buy you some time. But at the end of the day, it kind of falls on the head coach, which is not solely on the head coach. We all know that, but you gotta change something in order to get a different product. But Derek's in a tough spot, and obviously I love Derek, and I had a lot of success with Derek, but they got a sticky situation that they got to definitely filter through. I think every team in the league right now, other than the Chiefs and maybe like 2 or 3 other teams, everybody's getting their coach talked about, and everybody's going through some drama about if the coach is going to be there, or if trades and all this stuff. So it's a very interesting year with a lot of moves. So it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out in the end.
What's it like getting subtweeted by Michael Thomas?
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't personally take, because I do know Mike, so I didn't take this as a shot at me. This was him going on his rant about his feelings, very strong feelings toward Derek. And I'm not a big social media person when it comes to all that type of stuff, so that's not how I handle my business. I definitely would have taken, went about that in a different way, but people are different, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
You mentioned stuff about coaches. I want to ask you about Getsy, because Getsy gets, I don't know, like what you're talking about. Every team in the league seemingly has got this kind of stuff going on. He's done with the Raiders. What did you think of that move? What is going on?
Yeah, again, it's every time when things aren't rolling right, you got to find somebody or something to change, and it's a lot harder to switch up your quarterback when you've done it a couple times already than to you got to make something change. So obviously I love Luke, and I have a long history with him. We came into Green Bay at the same time, and he was my receiver coach for a few years, and one of my favorite coaches that I've had. And it just so happens that the way that obviously me leaving doesn't help that situation, but I had to do what I had to do, and then it's just kind of how this game goes. It won't be his last opportunity for sure.
You guys are 3-6. You like your coach, yeah? We're gonna.
I love my coach.
I need to know a little bit more about him. What can you tell him? What sets him apart?
He's just a real dude. It's almost like he's too real for TV, which is he's when he gets at the podium, he has to do it like a coach, and I mean this in the most respectful and in best way possible. Like I love talking to him. I love the way he talks to the team. Love the way he holds guys accountable. I love the way he just goes about his job, man. It makes it more like a family type vibe than just a guy that has that position. And that's how you get guys to play for you. And I'd love if he was my coach moving forward. That's for sure. I mean, I've only been here for a short time, but Brick is a real dude, man, and I got a ton of respect for him already.
You guys are 3-6. It sounds kind of dismal, but with the way the AFC is looking, you're very much alive and you're thriving, and you guys are growing every day at rapid pace because everybody's bought in. You can just sort of tell with the energy around everything. You got the Cardinals this weekend.
Yeah.
Do you remember your last touchdown?
We got a lot of in front of us right now, and I think it's good. It's good being in the situation that we're in because we really gonna get to find out what we made of.
Do you remember the last touchdown you had with Aaron against Arizona by any chance? There's no way.
Yes. It was a toe tapper in the back of the end zone in the rain in Green Bay.
You're amazing. This is week 13, 2018. Aaron leads you and hits you in the back of the end zone. Remember this?
Yep. Yes, I do. That was a fun game. Yeah, we got it in.
You had 8 receptions, 93 yards, 1 touchdown in the Packers. Oh, I guess the Packers lost.
They lost the game, though. It was unfortunate.
And there was a coach that got fired at the end of that, too.
It was.
It's something that's happening right now. Not now, because you love your coach and everything that's going on.
Yes, correct. But, yeah, I do remember that game. It was a fun game. I didn't think it was going to be a fun game because it was, like, just cold enough to where it could almost snow, but not quite. So when it's raining but it's freezing like that, those are the ones that are not fun. But we actually threw the ball around a little bit and were able to get a little piece of them, but couldn't finish it off. So.
That's what the cayenne pepper's for, right? Gronk's here with Davante Adams. I hear he has a pressing cayenne pepper take. Hey, Gronk.
Yeah, what up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
What's up, brother?
What up? Good to see you get in the end zone, Davante.
Woo!
Good to see that, brother.
Thank you, man. Yeah. It was good. It took too long.
Yes. Yeah, more to come, though. More to come, that's for sure.
Yeah, I thought about you. I think I could be wrong. What number was this for me and Aaron? Do you know how many touchdowns it was?
Oh, I don't know. We'll look it up. Why did it beat him? Did it beat him in Tom?
No. I feel like it was 69. I feel like it was 69.
Oh man, you're going that route.
Oh my God!
You got us there.
That is not what I expected you to say.
That was a good one.
I remember he made a pretty big deal about his 69. I literally remember that day.
I did. Mike Reese asked me about it right after I scored my 69th touchdown versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he goes, "Hey Rob, you know what number touchdown this is?" And I was like, "Of course I do, Mike Reese.
Boy,
of course I do."
Boy.
Scored versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep, that's my second favorite Gronk story, actually. My favorite Gronk story, and I literally have it in my favorites on my phone, so this is actually hilarious. I screen recorded my favorite clip of you speaking. You were talking about, speaking of all this trade stuff, you were talking about when you almost got traded.
To the Lions.
And it's literally the funniest video I've ever seen in my life. The laugh that you did at the end, bro, like that was, oh my God. I wish I was on set for that.
Yeah, that was a heck of a story for sure. And I still remember it to this day. And that wasn't live either on Fox. It was a little segment on the side. It's kind of like when you go to YouTube, K, with the 3-minute break, and then you're just talking and messing around, and that's what we were doing. We were just talking and messing around. They're like, "Hey, this is a segment going on Facebook. Do you have any stories about any trades, or you getting traded or you declining a trade?" And that just popped right up to my head. And I remember, and everyone, here's the thing about it, speaking of the trade deadline, is that everyone thinks I rejected the trade because it was to the Detroit Lions, but that actually wasn't really the case. I was rejecting the trade no matter what the situation was or whatever team I was going to. And to tell you the truth, the Detroit Lions were going to pay me as well. My agent called me. He's like, "Hey, Drew Rosen," he's like, "Hey, you sure you don't want to go to Detroit? Like, they're going to, back up those trucks. They're about to pay you some cash." And I was like, "No, like, I don't want to play anywhere besides New England." So it wasn't because it was Detroit. I just wanted to stay in New England.
Got you.
I mean,
either way, it was hilarious.
All I hear is,
it was hilarious. It was good.
All I hear is players don't have all the power. We have no, like, you two.
Yeah, well, we're speaking for everybody else. It's not just about us.
Okay. That's okay. It sounds like, Gronk, you had a lot of power when it came to that decision. Sounds like you had some input.
It all depends on the leverage that you have, and I had leverage to where I was going to retire. So if you're going to retire, it's impossible to get traded, Kay. So
I know.
That's where I had the leverage. If you're cool with not playing the game of football, then yes, you have all the leverage in the world in that situation. As a young buck, it's really hard to have leverage in the NFL, especially if you're really not that proven yet, or if you only have 1 or 2 years of success.
I got to get your take on something before we let you go, Davante. And I don't know the NBA, but I know you both love it. Some people said that this Ja Morant 360 fake dunk, have we seen this? I'm going to show it to you. 360 fake dunk from last night is the best move they've ever seen. Davante, your thoughts?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that in my life. I think John, and I don't like to make claims that are just, rash and not well thought out, but he might be the most athletic person in the world.
Okay.
There might be somebody in Africa or something like more athletic, but like professional athlete, he's the most athletic professional athlete in the world. He has to be.
That's a great take. Gronk, what do you think? Best move ever?
It is. I'm wondering who Saquon Barkley and John Morant's trainers are. I mean, his 360 jumps in the air are pretty incredible and definitely some athleticism that we haven't seen in quite some time.
The Saquon was more impressive only because I guess I like football. Is that not Saquon? The Saquon thing wasn't more impressive than that? Let's see the John Morant again.
Yeah, I think Say wins that, but that's like some 24-hour fitness stuff. But that's an NBA game, Kay. You got to understand that man is very tall.
I don't.
He's willing and able to block that shot, but when you do that move, it's literally impossible. That's ridiculous.
Love that, Davante. Appreciate you. Let's keep that Cardinals back of the end zone sort of touchdown vibe from 2018 going. Good luck this week.